They tried to warn me. They said that you were ornery. So don't bring me those big brown eyes and tell me that you're sorry.
So hey everyone, this is Pavlina from Pavlina's Kids Plays. I'm at the Strawberry Festival in Plant City, Florida with Kimberly, Reed, and Neil, who are the band Perry. Hello.
Hey. Good talking to you.
Nice to see you guys too. So how are you guys doing?
We're fantastic. It's warm down in Florida today. You know, we live up in Tennessee, and so I feel like we just escaped the last bits of winter.
It was like snowing for the past couple of days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we've been soaking up the sun.
And the strawberries here at the Strawberry Festival are very good, so you need to try one.
I do prefer my strawberries with powdered sugar, and so I probably have it all over me because I've been eating them all day.
Nice. Okay. So do you remember the first time like performing together as a family, and what was that like?
Yes.
You know, for us, we've been traveling for 13 years as a family. We actually started in separate bands. I was the bass player when I was 10. Neil, he was back on drums, and we would open up for Kimberly and her band, but always performed as a family, like around the house together. So
I can
you know,
remember
from
one of the
earliest memories.
first times, even before we had our band started. We took a family vacation out to the Wild Wild West. We did a swing through Colorado and Arizona and Wyoming
Mexico.
and Utah. And I was just in the 8th grade at the time, which meant you were in the 3rd grade. Second grade. Neil was in 1st grade. And so our mother had the late night driving shift. We had rented this little motorhome. So we all crowded around Mom to keep her awake, and to keep her awake, we started singing in 3-part harmony. We were like figuring out our parts, and that's the first time that we can go back and remember tracing singing in family harmony. So technically, that was our first performance in a motorhome for our mother.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so kids have all kinds of obstacles growing up. What was your obstacle like growing up, and how did you deal with it?
That's a great question. I think for me, it was always. You know, you wanted to conform to everybody around you, and it's so amazing because when you're in middle school and high school, I think at least my tendency was to blend in and not necessarily stand out. But then when you get a little bit older and you get into college and then life, if you will, it's a good thing to stand out because you have to get the job that you want or to do what we do. As a musical act, we had to be distinct from other musical acts trying to make it. So what seems like a hard thing in high school is actually beauty for the rest of your life.
And honestly, you know, first the three of us, we were so young when we started. People would say, "You're young, you know, take it slow until you're older." And some who are older would say, you know, just because you're young, you can't do as much. But that's not true. Even though you're young, you can still do a whole heck of a lot too. So I guess just keep plugging at whatever you're doing.
Absolutely, and for us too, and I think, you know, there's so many opportunities to do different sorts of things when you're in school. You've got school in general, right? And then you've got all sorts of sports, or there are music options, and then there's social options as well. And one of the biggest things that we did, we stayed really, really focused when we were in high school, or when I was, and you guys were in middle and high school. Once I found what I loved, which was music, a lot of other things kind of had to become lower priorities so that we could really focus on figuring out how to write and really hone the craft. And I think that's an important thing. You know, it will eventually get you where you're going, but it takes a lot of focus.
Nice. Okay, good. So writing a huge #1 song, If I Die Young, how did you come up with that? Because it really touched a lot of teen girls, and I know, like, walking through the hallways in my middle school, a lot of girls were singing the song. So.
Well, you know, If I Die Young was a song really that we wrote about life, which is ironic because it has the word die in the title. But we certainly wrote it out of a heart of contentment. It was kind of our statement of, you know what, we've done everything we set out to do so far. And if for whatever reason it all ended at this moment, that would be all right. And I think it continues to be a barometer and remind us, you know, to make the most of every single minute. And as long as we are making the most of our moments, whatever amount of moments we have will be just enough.
Awesome. Okay. So you guys play a lot of instruments each, and like, how did you learn to play all of those? And do you guys teach each other?
You know, we actually all started out on piano whenever we were really little, like classical. Mom had us in lessons, and actually, I guess the first one, Kimberly started on violin, but we have home videos of her like crying because she didn't want to do it. But you know, for us, that's actually where we started, and then just kind of branched off from there. And you know, he actually plays accordion and drums as well. So
in addition to the mandolin, and I played clarinet too in marching band in high school, and so we've all, I guess, we learned how to read treble and bass clef from taking piano, and then we just built on that. So a lot of our guitar and bass and drum and mandolin work were all self-taught. But occasionally we'll try to show each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
And
instrument.
actually, we're kind of each currently learning new instruments. I know Reed is working on the harmonica, right, Reed?
Yep.
And I'm learning this instrument. It's an Irish instrument called the bouzouki. And it's this really strange looking instrument. It's got a round body and stuff. It's really fun. You should check it out.
I'm learning to play the tuba.
Oh, really?
No,
No, she does
Okay.
not.
My brother loves the accordion. Like, I play a couple of instruments, like I play steel drums and stuff.
Oh,
And my brother was like, you should learn the accordion. I don't know why, but he like loves the sound.
Yeah.
We support the family.
Yeah. that's awesome. We go on
Yes.
tour together.
Yeah. So like, if you guys could describe each other, like, what would you say about the other one that you like haven't said, and since you guys are together like all the time?
Yes, we are. It's close quarters in our family. Well, I guess let's talk about Neil. So
Okay.
Neil is our baby in the family. He's the youngest, and everybody thinks he's the oldest because of his facial hair.
Immaturity. I'm
It's
mature.
not. It's not maturity. But he never lets us take ourselves too seriously. He certainly is the joker of the bunch. And this guy is more carefree. Reed is the middle.
Right.
What can we say about Reed?
Reed is
He's sweet now.
Reed is the rock. of the group. I'd say whenever things are really exciting or really hard, he's just the one that keeps
He's
us
pretty
going.
steady.
He is.
And he's a self-titled peacemaker, although I feel like in his older age he stirs up more trouble than the rest of us. But
That's not true.
that is true.
Now let's talk
Sometimes
about
you gotta light
So-
fires to,
now
If
let's
Put
Reed
out
is the rock,
fires.
Neil's the roll.
let's talk about the older age.
And I'm
No,
the boss.
she's the boss.
Kimberly's the oldest. She thinks that means she is the boss, but Reed and I continue to say she's bossy here. She's very bossy.
We pretty much play our stereotypical, sibling roles.
Well,
here,
somebody's got to keep him in line, right?
Yeah, she does a
Right.
good job.
I vote me.
too.
Okay, so what are your upcoming plans and events?
We actually are heading to Europe this month, yeah, which will be the first time that we go over there and play our music, so we're really excited about that. We'll be in, Dublin, Ireland, and then in England as well, so we're looking
Playing in
forward to that.
London. And then we're going to build again on that. We go back in July and then also again in November. So one of the big goals of the year is to collect some international fans. We're working really hard to do that. We have a second album that's going to be coming out later this fall. So right now we're just writing and in the studio recording. And we just released a brand new single from our first album. It'll be the last single from the first project called Postcard from Paris. So you guys keep your ears peeled.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking to
Appreciate
you.
it.